There are all sorts of issues and circumstances there, but we've all been through. The piece of advice I think I was given: don't treat it as a receiving line. So don't start shaking hands.
Shocking whispers from Buckingham Palace suggest Prince Edward's world has been turned upside down. Alleged DNA results have reportedly confirmed a truth too explosive for the royal family to handle. Has Edward really severed ties with the monarchy after uncovering his real heritage? Stay with us as we unravel the mystery. It started as just another quiet murmur among London's high society in early 2024. A faint whisper, barely audible, yet intriguing enough to spark curiosity. Could Prince Edward not be a Windsor? At first, most dismissed it as baseless gossip, another fleeting rumor in the never-ending whirlwind surrounding the British royal family. But within weeks, that faint whisper grew into a deafening roar. Headlines screamed from every corner.
It's much the safest place to be.
And do you feel any sadness about how it's played out?
Prince Edward's paternity under question. The nation, still adjusting to King Charles III's reign, found itself consumed by this shocking possibility. Prince Edward, often seen as the most reserved and least controversial of the royal siblings, was suddenly thrust into a storm he never anticipated. Media outlets dissected every detail of his life, searching for clues. Was there any truth behind these claims? As the palace maintained its silence, speculation only grew. Some pointed to Edward's more subdued appearance compared to his siblings, fueling the fire. Whispers even suggested that an aristocratic figure from Queen Elizabeth II's younger days might be involved. With every passing day, the mystery deepened, leaving the public hanging on every new revelation. But no one expected what would come next. Edward's bold move to uncover the truth himself.
But I have to say that the extraordinary tributes and the memories that
For Prince Edward, life within the royal family had always been a delicate balance. While his older siblings navigated high-profile marriages, scandals, and public scrutiny, Edward preferred a quieter existence. Yet this newfound attention was relentless. Cameras followed his every move, and every glance, every word, became a source of speculation. Those close to Edward described him as deeply affected but resolute. He wasn't one to run from challenges. But this was different. Rumors suggested that Edward had privately wrestled with doubts about his lineage for years. Could it be true that he wasn't a Windsor by blood? An anonymous figure, claiming to have undeniable proof of Edward's real paternity, added fuel to the fire. "What I know will change everything," the source teased, leaving the public desperate for answers. Meanwhile, Edward found himself at a crossroads. Would confronting the truth bring him peace, or would it unravel everything he knew?
The States, it was a bit of a late starter there, but it's brilliant. And what's really
His every step was scrutinized, yet Edward remained silent, until he couldn't any longer. The weight of the unknown pressed down on him, pushing him toward a decision that would not only alter his life, but shake the foundations of the monarchy itself. Then came the moment that no one saw coming. Prince Edward announced he was stepping back from royal duties. The news sent shockwaves through the nation. Why would Edward, who had always been so loyal and dedicated, make such a drastic move? The palace offered no explanation, leaving room for endless theories. Was this his way of distancing himself from a painful truth he had uncovered? Or was it a bid to escape the unbearable scrutiny? Behind the palace walls, whispers hinted at tense discussions between Edward and King Charles. Some even suggested that Charles, already burdened by his new role, was furious about the scandal brewing under his watch.
Devotion to duty on which I have come to rely so much.
Yet Edward's decision wasn't one of defiance, it was one of self-preservation. He needed answers, and he needed them away from the constant glare of the cameras. This wasn't just about him, it was about his family, his children, and the legacy they would inherit. As Edward retreated from public life, one question lingered. Was he preparing for the storm that would follow once the truth was revealed? The world waited, breathless, as Edward embarked on a journey that promised to expose secrets long buried. The British royal family is no stranger to scandal. History is riddled with tales of affairs, secret children, and whispered betrayals. Henry VIII's numerous marriages and rumored illegitimate offspring set a precedent centuries ago. Even Henry I, ruling in the 12th century, was believed to have fathered over 20 illegitimate children. These stories, while historic, have always cast a shadow over the idea of royal purity. Fast forward to more recent times, and similar stories persist.
He's been waiting for, and he's probably spent more time thinking about it.
Princess Margaret, known for her rebellious spirit, was rumored to have had a secret child. Prince George, Duke of Kent, faced similar speculation. Even Prince Harry's paternity has been a topic of debate, with some pointing to his striking resemblance to figures outside the royal family. Now, with Prince Edward's paternity under scrutiny, many wondered, was this another chapter in the royal family's long history of hidden truths? Could the monarchy, already fragile under the weight of modern expectations, survive another blow? As Edward's story unfolded, it became clear that this wasn't just about him. It was about a legacy built over centuries and the cracks that threatened to bring it all down. The day Edward received the DNA results was one shrouded in tension. The envelope, simple yet ominous, held answers that could rewrite history.
You can only watch the clock so many times, and the walls are only so interesting.
Rumors swirled that Edward, upon receiving the results, had isolated himself from even his closest family members. What did the envelope reveal? Was Edward not a Windsor after all? As speculation ran wild, the palace's silence was deafening. Some claimed the results confirmed Edward's worst fears, while others insisted it proved his rightful place in the royal lineage. But why was no official statement made? The absence of confirmation only fueled more questions. If Edward's paternity was in question, what did that mean for his children? For the monarchy's line of succession? And if the results had cleared all doubts, why not put the rumors to rest? Edward's decision to remain silent only added to the intrigue. Has the truth been too painful to share? Or was there more to the story than even Edward anticipated?
To make their own decisions about what it is that they wanted to do, to set their own goals, and then to go out and achieve them, which means...
What was certain, however, was that this moment had changed Edward. He wasn't the same prince who had quietly served the crown for decades. He was a man who had faced his fears head-on, and whatever the truth was, it had left an undeniable mark on him and the royal family he had always known. While comparisons to Prince Harry were inevitable, Edward's approach to handling this storm was markedly different. Where Harry had chosen to publicly confront his struggles, Edward opted for quiet resilience. He didn't pen a tell-all book or sit for interviews. Instead, he withdrew, not out of weakness, but to find strength. His choice to step back from royal duties wasn't about running away. It was about regaining control over his own narrative. This silent strength didn't go unnoticed. Many admired Edward's composure amid the chaos. He continued to focus on his family, ensuring that his children felt secure despite the whirlwind around them.
And we open the window just a little bit so we can hear what people are saying.
His wife, Sophie, Countess of Wessex, stood by his side, a pillar of support. Edward's approach was a reminder that sometimes strength isn't in loud declarations, but in quiet perseverance. But what toll had this ordeal taken on him? Those close to Edward hinted at sleepless nights and endless questions. Yet through it all, Edward remained steadfast. The public's opinion might have swayed with every new headline, but Edward's determination never wavered. His silence spoke volumes, leaving many to wonder, what would Edward's next move be, and would the full truth ever come to light? As the dust began to settle, one thing became clear. Edward's decision to step back had left an indelible mark on the monarchy. Rumors suggested that the DNA results had caused a rift within the royal family. Had Edward severed ties with his royal roots? Was this the beginning of a new chapter for him, one away from the royal spotlight?
Come around asking me to do things and expecting me to say yes, because the answer is going to be no.
The public was left with more questions than answers. Edward's interactions with his siblings, particularly King Charles, were scrutinized. Was there tension, or was it merely the weight of unspoken truths? The possibility that Edward had uncovered something monumental lingered, and while Edward himself remained silent, the echoes of his decision resonated far and wide. Could this moment redefine the monarchy's future? As the world speculated, Edward's journey became a symbol of the delicate balance between duty and identity. But what would Edward's story mean for future generations of royals? Would they face similar battles, or would Edward's experience serve as a turning point? One thing was certain, this story wasn't over yet. The British monarchy has weathered countless storms, but Edward's journey highlighted a new era of challenges. His quiet resilience in the face of overwhelming speculation added a layer of humanity to a family often seen as distant. Edward's story was not just about DNA results, it was about finding oneself amid chaos. His strength, though silent, spoke to many who watched him navigate this tumultuous time. As the royal family continues to evolve, Edward's experience serves as a poignant reminder of the pressures they face. Will his story inspire more transparency within the monarchy, or will it remain another chapter shrouded in mystery? The world watched as Edward stood tall, but many wondered, what secrets still lie within the palace walls? And as new generations take the throne, will Edward's legacy be one of quiet strength or unanswered questions? The story of Prince Edward's paternity may have reached a conclusion, but its impact is far from over. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to watch our next video exploring more untold royal stories.